One of the most interesting things about the PS1 is how many great franchises found life on the system. It was a great time for gamers, with depths of developers' imaginations being plumbed and the results often turning out to be pretty good. What's even more fascinating is how many of these franchises are now in recession and often thought of in a derogatory fashion. One such series that found life in the PS1 but has since fallen on hard times are the Spyro the Dragon games. The original was developed by Insomniac Games and released in 1998 by Sony. It was instantly appealing thanks to its choice of main character and how beautifully colourful the world was.
Okay, rolling.
Oh, it's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it six? For a Dragon's Age. We now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000? What about this Ganasty Gnorc character? Now I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Gnorc is a simple creature.
Simple.
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom.
No threat!
Besides, he is ugly. That does it!
Looks like I've got some things to do.
The game opens with several dragons being interviewed about how peaceful the world is. The interviewer then moves on to a question about the lonesome and disliked Ganasty Gnorc, who just happens to be watching, as the dragons insult him. Enraged, he casts a spell that encases all the dragons in stone and sends out his minions to take over the 5 dragon homeworlds. However, thanks to his smaller size, Ganasty misses Spyro, who now makes its mission to rescue all the dragons and defeat Ganasty Gnorc once and for all. It's funny how nostalgia works, because on reflection, the opening of Spyro is incredibly weak and there really isn't much of a story. It's a simple good versus evil tale with little in the way of originality, but thankfully the gameplay more than makes up for it. You take control of Spyro in the first Dragon Homeworld, Artisan World. Instantly the vibrancy of the world takes you in. Gameplay is made up of Spyro exploring, diving into levels which are set up as gates within a homeworld, collecting treasure, rescuing dragons and defeating bosses. There is a wonderful amount of variety in the levels, but it doesn't stop there, with each homeworld having a different theme. There is the Peacekeepers, Magic Crafters, Beastmakers, Dreamweavers and Ganasty Gnorc's world. The level designs are fantastic and the variety and challenge ensures you'll rarely be bored. Everything looks so different and it's impressive that each level corresponds with the homeworld it is set in. Exploring them is as much fun as controlling the young dragon. You see Spyro can breathe fire, do a charge attack, glide for short distances and in some levels actually fly. Spyro's skills have to be used strategically as enemies vary in their attacks and defense. For example, shielded enemies will use their shield to block Spyro's fire breathing, while larger enemies just can't be charged. Spyro's health is measured via a clever little idea: his companion Sparks the Dragonfly. He changes colour depending upon the damage taken by Spyro. Take too much damage and Sparks will disappear, meaning Spyro can only take one more hit before death occurs. It's a pain losing Sparks, as he is useful in picking up the plenty of scattered treasures spread out throughout the worlds. Each level and homeworld has a set number, viewable in the stats screen, and finding every bit is an excellent challenge. There is plenty to keep you busy throughout, finding every bit of treasure, rescuing every dragon, and finding every dragon egg is a hell of a task, with some of them being really well hidden. Anyone that's played Spyro knows some of the later dragon thieves are incredibly difficult to find. Visually great, excellent controls, fun gameplay. Spyro the Dragon is nearly the complete 3D platformer, and just to top it off, the music is brilliant too. Composed by the excellent Grant Kirkhope, who has done the music for the likes of Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, GoldenEye, Viva Pinata and Star Fox Adventures. Spyro the Dragon soundtrack is so memorable and themed perfectly to the worlds that you get to explore. It's not perfect though. The game is probably a bit too easy if you're not aiming to collect everything, and Gnasty Gnorc as an end boss is pretty disappointing. He doesn't offer up any more of a challenge than earlier bosses. Spyro the Dragon is the first in a long series of games that hasn't really been bettered since, although it has been matched. It's bright and beautiful with fun and addictive gameplay. It's easy and the story is paper thin, but collecting everything in the exciting world is a great challenge. It's loved for all the right reasons.
Spyro the Dragon, you've defeated Gnasty Gnorc, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom. How do you feel?
I feel fired up, Bob. And I'm happy for the dragon world, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Gnasty Gnorc and his weird minions.
What's a minion?
Never mind. You know what they say. For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Gnasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent. Uh-oh.